Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to elaborate on three key products for Nvidia and what's driving growth for Nvidia from those three products. And in a broader context, I wanted to go deeper into that customer value proposition. The customer value proposition is something I consider when I'm making investment decisions because that will determine how successful that business is longer term. Does it offer their customers a good product for a good price? Okay, that's the underlying foundational quality that builds success for business. And we're going to see that from NVIDIA here while I go through three distinct products from NVIDIA. And then I'll elaborate on the customer value proposition. So let's take a closer look.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
Okay, so the first of which is a new product NVIDIA designed specifically for China that doesn't require an export license. Now, if you're not already aware, several quarters ago, NVIDIA was told that it would no longer be able to export its latest technology to China because of concerns about security from the United States. So that led NVIDIA to stop sending these products to China. But now NVIDIA has developed a new product that does not require a license. So they can go ahead and sell this product into China without searching out a license, which is not likely to be granted to begin with, right? If the US wanted to grant that license, or if they wanted that product to be sold to China, they wouldn't have required the license to begin with, right? So this was just the politics being played here in Washington, and Nvidia had to adjust to that because China is a huge market. China is a huge market. You don't want to completely exit that market. And so what Nvidia did is they designed a new product that complies with the newer regulations, that may not have the latest generation technology or may not be as powerful as its latest generation technology. And that product it will sell into China. However, they expect the market in China to remain very competitive going forward. And in other words, if NVIDIA is not allowed to put its best foot forward, if NVIDIA is not allowed to sell its best product into China, and it's relegated to making this not so powerful, not so effective product, it's not going to gain as much competitive advantage as it has up until now with its best products, right? The reason why NVIDIA is so successful is because its GPUs are absolutely obliterating the competition. The whole software stack, the GPU, the whole thing, it's obliterating the competition, and that's why they're able to grow and gain as much market share as they have in the AI computing space. If they're not able to provide that best product, they're not expecting to be as successful. So they're giving investors that warning here saying, look, we expect the market in China to remain very competitive. They're not saying that, okay, now that we have this new product, sales in China are going to explode again now that we have this new thing we can sell into that market. That's not what they're saying. They're saying that their new product, it's going to be very competitive going forward. In other words, they may have to offer lower prices, incentives, or they may just have to deal with lower market share in that region. All right, so let's move on to NVIDIA's H100. H100. So this is the existing technology, and thanks to their software stack, which is called CUDA, Algorithm Innovations, they've been able to accelerate large language model inference on the H100 by up to 3x, which can translate to a 3x cost reduction for serving popular models like Llama 3, which is the large language model that Meta Platforms uses and has developed. So remember earlier in the video, I talked about the customer value proposition. What are their customers getting in response to the money that they're spending? And if they're getting a 3x improvement on that same product, that makes the value proposition that much better. Businesses were already buying Nvidia's H100 GPUs in large quantities. In fact, demand exceeded supply. And now what Nvidia is saying is through a software upgrade, they've been able to accelerate inference on the H100 by up to 3x, which translates to a 3x cost reduction for inferencing, right? Serving models is another word for inferencing. There's two parts of the large language model business. One part is training the model or developing the model. The next part is inferencing, or how much does it cost to operate the model. And what NVIDIA made significant improvements here, the 3x improvement, is on the operating of the model, the inferencing. Okay, so let's move on to the H200. So the H200 is the next generation product. And in Q1, they started sampling it, and they're currently in production with shipments on track for Q2. Now the H200 doubles the inference performance of the H100, delivering significant value production for deployments. That means for every $1 spent on NVIDIA's HGX H200 servers at current prices per token, a provider serving 3 tokens can generate $7 in revenue over 4 years. So for $1 spent, they get $7 in return. 7 times the return in just 4 years. Isn't that a great customer value proposition? Wouldn't you spend money if you know you're going to get back 7 times in 4 years? Wouldn't you make that investment? I think it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer for me. And you can understand now why NVIDIA's growth has exploded, why revenue is jumping by the hundreds of percents year over year, because like this case, there's many other use cases that are no-brainers for enterprises buying NVIDIA's GPUs. The customer value proposition is so strong that it's just a no-brainer. It's just, yes, we'll take it. How many do you have? 100, 1,000, 1 million? Yes, send it. We'll buy it. No questions asked, because they're afraid that if they don't buy it, somebody else is going to buy it instantly, which is what's been happening. Demand is far in excess of supply for NVIDIA because that value proposition is so much in favor of customers. So while supply for the H100, the older generation, grew, they're still constrained with the next gen, the H200. Blackwell is in full production, which is what they're naming their next generation, their latest generation. The demand for H200 and Blackwell is well ahead of supply, and we expect demand may exceed supply well into next year. Boy, isn't that great to hear from an investor viewpoint if you're a shareholder of NVIDIA stock? Don't you love hearing that demand for NVIDIA's products is well ahead of supply, and it's going to stay that way for at least until next year? That's music to shareholder ears. And so I think a lot of investors should consider these 3 facts, these 3 things about NVIDIA stock, because they're vital to the company's performance. This isn't just based on hype. Sure, there's a lot of excitement around artificial intelligence and NVIDIA stock specifically, but it's grounded on these exploding revenues, exploding profits and cash flow that's still in a position where demand exceeds supply. So really great news for NVIDIA stock investors. Thank you for watching this video. I truly appreciate it. I know there's a lot you could be doing with your time and a lot of other videos you could be watching. So I truly appreciate that you chose to watch this one. If you want to see more videos just like this, hit the subscribe or the like button. They'll both help me make more videos just like this one. Thank you again.